university and had a department, because I was talking of food scientists, you notice that I was not fully in agreement, because it's more than food scientists. You have to have special training for halal certification. So is it possible to establish that capacity here, so that we don't have to depend? So there are ways we need to have a clear mechanism of keeping up to date, because things change. Things are not static. Standards change. So what mechanism do we have in place to ensure that we are up to date all the time, that we are compliant at all times, so that we remain in the market? So really, I want to congratulate you on what you have produced here, and I think, as I said, in broad terms, I think this serves the purpose. At least it takes us past the first enabling step that we need to take in order to create that capacity in Uganda. So congratulations. You want to say now?
Yeah.
Support of those references implemented.
Yeah.
Would there be any special? The references were referring to.
The addendum, like and also like
These are not to be made by us. No, they're already established. So, but we need to have them here.
yes.
We are not going to draw them ourselves. No, they must be here. But the point I was making was that we need to be sure that those standards comply with our national laws. Because where they don't, how do we sort it out? So you need to handle that right at the beginning.
Standards in Australia and Islamic countries is working that we have done international. So they send, we get the standards from them. So when those standards come, they are received by the Uganda National Bureau of Standards. This Uganda National Bureau of Standards holds the stakeholders. Among the stakeholders, we can have the Uganda Halal Bureau and other stakeholders depending on the standard that they want to publish. So we put in our input according to the national laws and according to how our country is without compromising our integrity. So with this standard, when someone says OIC symmetry, it means that in OIC symmetry, there are guidelines that are for accreditation body. When they say OIC symmetry, it means that all the requirements within that standard are supposed to be complied by the halal certification body, and those requirements across the entire halal world. It means that when an organization comes to audit you or wants to check the compliance of our accreditation body, all our certification body, you go to OIC Submit to OIC Submit or OIC Submit certified for halal testing laboratory. So we are glad that all the things are there, and that is why I'm also glad to report that in Uganda, halal Bureau, or Uganda as a country right now, we are recognized as a reliable halal certification body by the World Halal Council. What does it mean? That when we went through the processes, we realized that Uganda complies to OIC with some of those some of the requirements that are required by all halal players within the world. And that is why we are able to do what? To be given that certificate. So that is what we are trying to put in place. They are already established in the Ugandan National Labour Standard. So it is upon us to go and buy them and then put all the requirements in place so that we are able to compete in the international market.
Well, excellent. Now you have educated me. And all I was saying was that in this document, there's nothing like that. Okay? There would be no harm in having it here. Because to make reference to US stroke, OIC stroke, this is Chinese to me. So I need the interpretation. Secondly, as I said in the beginning, we were targeting Qatar because we are going to have the World Cup. So we thought to slaughter half our animals here and sell them during this time. They could not even take samples we sent. Finally we sent samples, they had to get permission from the ruler's office to enter the country. Why? Because Uganda is not recognized as having capacity for halal certification. So this is why we are going through this whole effort. And we hope that at the end of this, we will be able to tell them that we are now compliant. We have the regulatory framework, we have all the things that are required that we have mentioned. And then they will register us in Qatar and elsewhere. So that's a step yet to be achieved. Okay? So I think let's say this is, as I said, this is a broad argument. But it is only the beginning. We will have to fill in the gaps as we go along, but it doesn't stop us from having this side at the moment. Okay?
Yes, Honorable, thank you so much. I have two comments. One, we want to be sure that all the observations which have been raised by Right Honorable have been captured. I've been seeing so many. Thank you. So Shaban has captured. So number two, Right Honorable, you talked about the method, which method we can be using to be updated. So I don't know, Right Honorable, if we should suggest having a meeting once a year as we start, so that at least we be updated on the laws on or twice a year as we start.
I think these details you have to work, our group has to work them out. I want a clear monitoring and enforcement mechanism for ongoing monitoring and enforcement to ensure continued compliance with halal standards. And this includes, for instance, random audits. You see, it's not enough that the university is setting it up routine and then we go to sleep. We must have a mechanism to ensure that actually it's complying with the standards required in what they are doing themselves. We must have a system, I should have mentioned this, we must have a system of, what do they call it, these days, some kind of review, but let me call it consumer Yes, yes. Consumers, yes. How do we get the feedback from the market? Then, for those who are given these responsibilities, we must establish these standards written, and we must make sure that we comply with them, and we even must have penalties for non-compliance. Isn't it? Things like that. These are the things which we can work out, which would arise out of what we have already in this document of yours.
Some of the areas in the contract, they are already take monitoring committee. We are possible to capability and maybe this committee shall be monitoring committee established the following composition. The government will be represented, the URG, Bureau, NDMSC. Implementation. I think responsible monitoring implementation. I think here maybe we can say for the time being what has been committee regular student
Yes, what I was saying is that this is an enabling document, but you need to work out more detailed documents on each of these. Okay? Which standard operating procedures will be the correct. Okay?
Then there is the governing law, as we say, was
Like this governing law, I am happy to sign this, but as a lawyer, it's not properly formulated. You see, it says this agreement shall be construed in accordance with and governed in all respects by the laws of the Republic